Call the Town of Oliver Springs Water Board meeting for June 5th to order. Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller.
Here.
Jeff Bass.
Here.
Charlie Bailey.
Here.
Teresa Van Hook.
Here.
Terry Hall.
Here.
Becky Devane.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from May 1st meeting? So moved. Motion by Mr. Miller, second. Second by Ms. Van Hook. Any discussion?
What is a PGA?
Pure green alcohol?
No.
I said the same thing when I
Get mine off of
when I
that. Stay-
approved it. And Joe said, I don't remember what it is.
What is
Because they had too
it?
much of it. We're,
It says it somewhere in there,
It may have been in the,
that's Professional Doctors
I think it
Association.
may have, that's what I always,
I knew it should have started it again.
but I think it was in the town minutes. I don't think it's in this one. I think it's in the,
I think they paid, didn't they, or something?
I think it's in the town, I don't think it's in the water board minutes.
I looked for it.
So I put stuff in there, see if y'all read them.
Just.
Right there it is. City manager Jenkins gave a report on the sale of water to PGA, Oliver Springs.
Oh, that was the asphalt company
Oh,
that was paving over in Oak Ridge, where we were selling water to them at the hydrant.
Robert had me thinking maybe it was.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, any further discussion? Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Bass.
Yes.
Charlie Bailey.
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook.
Yes.
Terry Hall.
Yes.
Becky Devane.
Yes.
Passed.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Any delegation, anybody from the audience like to come forward, speak at this time? There's the podium and... Yes. Ms. Carey.
Yes. Before I get started, I just want you guys to know that I'm not here to like harm you or anything. I just think that if I don't stand up here in front of you guys and explain my situation, it's gonna happen to the next person, and I don't think that that needs to happen. I think that, I don't know if everybody here knows that I got let go from the water department. Everything was fine. I have a 2,000-word document that I would love to share with all of you guys of my experience. I'm a Oliver Springs lifer. I've been here my whole life, and when I got this job, it was an amazing opportunity for me. And I'm a single mom of 3. It was 4 minutes from my house, so it was a big deal. I worked here for 6 weeks, thinking that everything was amazing. And then one day, I came back and everything was just different. I had found out that Miss Mahoney was letting people know that she was gonna let me go, and I had no idea why. I had to find out from other people in the office due to like office chatter. I was the last, unfortunately, to find out, and there was never actually an official meeting as to like what was going on. So when I heard these things, I was extremely confused, and I ended up addressing it with her because like that's what I'm gonna have to do, you know, like I didn't understand. I thought everything was fine. She let me know that I had been making mistakes, but I was never corrected. There was maybe 5 times that I'd ever been corrected. And when I asked her, when she told me that I had made mistakes, and I asked her, why didn't you correct me? I can handle correction, okay? She told me that it was Corey's job. And then when I told her, I was like, I've barely seen Corey. He's not corrected me. So why didn't you correct me? She told me she wasn't my boss. Like, after that, there were certain things like accounts payable. She had only told me that it needed to be done once a week. She never gave me a deadline. I had no idea. Had she said, Carrie, I need these out by Wednesday, I would have had them out by Wednesday. It was just very unfair to me to be completely blindsided by all of these things. I had no idea. Like, I had only been there 6 weeks. I was just learning. And when I had went to talk to Corey Corey told me everything was fine. I justified exactly what I had just said. I'm not standing up here saying that I'm perfect either, okay? Because there were things like I was on my cell phone. She never said anything to me about it. I didn't know it was an issue because if you walk in that office, 9 times out of 10, somebody's always on their cell phone. I just didn't know. Had somebody told me, I would have gotten off of it. And once all of these things had came up, I corrected them. Like the next week, I had gotten checks out by Tuesday. Like I had no idea. I had kept a log in a week time frame that everything went so bad to the point that the guys out in the field were telling me that the tension in the office was terrible. They didn't want to come in there. Like, and I was living it. Like, and I was so anxious because if I did make a mistake, she would yell at me. And I'm okay with correction, but please don't yell at me and don't talk to me like a child because that's not fair. I'm also learning. But it was just, I had kept a log of everything that I was doing from that point forward. And every day I was having to ask at least 3 times, is there anything that I can do? Is there anything that I can do? The things that I had made mistakes on, she wouldn't give back to me. She wouldn't teach me like, hey, let's not do this. She would take it from me and like put that on herself. And like, how am I gonna learn how to fix that? So my thing, like, I'm not asking for my job because I genuinely would be scared to work over there now. But for the next person, there needs to be some sort of training protocol. Like, the day that everything happened, I was told to go home because I was upset. I was upset because she was yelling at me. And I was still sitting there telling her, I'm so sorry that you feel this way about me. I was here to be a team player. I live in Oliver Springs. I've lived here my whole life. I liked what she was doing in that office. I was there to be a team player. But that's not the way that I was treated. And then to get text messages basically to say like, take time, reset, get a new job. I still not have a new job. I'm a single mom of 3 and I'm almost homeless. Like, this was so unfair that there was never any type of like official meeting as to, like, I don't even still know all of those mistakes that I was making. I still have no idea because she wouldn't tell me. She was angry with me when I brought up the fact that people in the office were talking about the situation. So I just think there should, at least for the next person coming in, that they don't have to deal with it, some sort of training protocol. Like, that's all I'm asking.
The Word document, do you have it with you? Could you ship or could you send it?
I emailed it to you.
Okay, all right. I apologize, I must have missed it, and I'll go back and look, and I'll make sure that each council member has it going forward. So, and I apologize.
It's okay. It's really affected my mental health because I didn't understand, and this was a big deal for me, like for my family, to be able to have a job like this. So it's just something that I've really prayed about, and I need to be up here with the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Mayor update. This week I had 2. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Holt, do you want to speak?
Yes.
I apologize. Come forward. My fault.
My name's Diane Holt, and I'm here for my mother's lot with drainage coming down from Richview Drive all the way down to Valley Drive, and it's stopped up right there, and it's backing the neighbor up. The neighbor can't be here because he had an emergency to go to Memphis. So, and I got some paperwork, and I'm trying to give it to somebody. They come to my house twice the last year, and they said it was my problem. So you got a problem, you got some kind of busted pipe up there. I got videos of it, I got 2 videos of it. One when it's raining, and it's just draining all the way down. So, and I got this at the courthouse. Showed me this might help out. So, you to read that about Midway subdivision. Your dad signed it, my dad signed it, Michael Parks signed it, Hatmaker signed it, everybody signed it when it was annexed in. Okay, so. Have that.
Do you have the plat map?
Now, on my map, it's not an easement.
Okay.
But the way y'all have got that draining in and building in, it should be an easement. Because it's flooding all the way down. My dad, or somehow, somebody got a barrel there. And I called 2 people to come to try to get it paid for myself, and they're not showing up. So if somebody could help me do what I need to do.
What you have is a legal issue, and of course, I'm a lawyer and I practiced law 48 years, did a lot of real estate. I've seen many plat maps. And to answer your question, you would have to go and get copies of your deeds, copies of the neighbor's deeds, copies of the plat map, copies of the restrictive covenant. And this is much like going to a doctor and say, I had some tests done in Nashville, what's the result? The doctor says, I don't know, I have to see the test results. So to give you a concrete opinion upon which you could rely upon which the city could take action, you'd have to see all these documents. Now, with that background, you would look on your plat maps and see if there's easements, because many developers nowadays are required by zoning to have so many feet, 5 foot either side of the boundary line for a drainage easement. If that is not present, then the city cannot go onto private property and dig easements and dig ditches and things like that. So we'd have to see the documentation. And if there's no easement, lot line easements for drainage and utilities, then putting it bluntly, it's not the city's problem. And the city can't do anything. You and the neighboring property owner will have to get together and figure out how to dig the easement, clean out the ditch, whatever it may be. It is common that the property owners come down here to get the city to do it because we've got the equipment, it's done free for the homeowner and so on. But state law does not allow the city to come onto private property and do work. Now, if there's drainage easements in your plat documentation, then you'd have to study that. Now, having said that, if there's not an existing ditch that needs to be cleaned out, it may be wise for the city to get written documentation from the property owners as to exactly what the city can do. Because if the city goes onto your property and cleans out the ditch and you say you did it the wrong way, then the city, you know, we're damned if we don't do anything, and if we did something, we're damned if we do, putting it crudely. So we have to be very careful when we go onto property and work through all this.
I think I have that. I'm not for sure. I'm not a lawyer. And I went to the courthouse and they tried to do something for me, and I'm thinking it is a 5 foot easement at the rear of the
Well,
property.
it's got to be an easement alongside the property lines.
I don't know what I got here.
Now, when you go to the courthouse and ask the court officials, that's like going to the pharmacist with a stomachache and asking what's wrong. If you have appendicitis, it's going to rupture, the pharmacist is going to do you a bad deal by giving you Pepto-Bismol. You need to go to the professional, the doctor, the emergency room, being diagnosed for your disease, like the appendicitis, because you may need surgery. The same thing here. The courthouse people are there to receive documents and take care of them. They're not there to research and give you legal advice. Now, they may as a courtesy research, but how do you know, and how do they know they've gotten all the documents? Because they're not trained to do that. They're not lawyers. They're not real estate paralegals.
Yes, sir.
Now, that document right there, is that an original or is
Yes,
that a
it's from the
copy?
courthouse, and they highlighted everything.
Okay.
There's an easement in the back. It doesn't say easement down,
Okay.
but undoubtedly, there is an easement you made a one. Because it's flooding
The
everywhere.
developer may have made the easement, the property owner may have made the easement. And if the property owner made it, then it's not the city's responsibility.
Do you want to see that?
So I've got a little background information on this. So I have been out there and looked at this. There is a drain easement on the subdivision plat that I saw. The problem is where the current ditch is at, that easement's on the back side of the property. It's on the opposite side of where the ditch is. So there's a house on the corner lot, I believe that address is.
405 Ridgeview.
405. So at 405, ditch is right behind that house, then there's another little parcel, a little field. The actual easement's on that opposite side of the field.
It's
And
on Tim and Tanya's side.
Yes, it is.
And that's actually the high point
But
too.
this goes all the way, Ridgeview Drive, all of that's coming down. I mean, videos,
Right.
big flow up, all the way down to Valley Drive and goes that way.
Yeah.
And it's cleared off there.
So there's also an issue on Ridgeview, a property owner had filled in the back of their house, back of their property, and it's turned a lot of water off on the neighbors. So I've got some familiarity with what's going on out there on this one.
And and your drainage must be busted up there, so I took a video of it. Ridgeview Drive, that gray thing is running. So that's completely running all day long. I've checked it for 4 days. I got a video of that, so it keeps running. So don't
Probably a
drive.
water leak. That's probably a water leak.
Got a water line busted up where they.
Yep.
Yeah, so that, I've got a video of that, so you can't clean it up. I mean, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And I've
If you'll leave that with me right here.
I got another copy. He gave me another
Yep.
copy.
And, we will,
But it's not actually shown easement. He's got, I highlighted some of this. The easement is 5 rear, 5 foot of each lot.
5-foot rear. Well, our city manager said the easement, that the water that's flowing that you want fixed is not within that easement.
I think
It's like,
it
it's
is.
like somebody's put the drain ditch in like the wrong place.
Yeah, either directive.
What she has here is an abolition of restrictive covenants, Joe.
And
The subdivision was inside the city,
something I don't know how to do.
and the city has good and sufficient zoning ordinances.
8655.
So the undersigned property owners in Midway subdivision, believes the subdivision and its owners are adequately protected by the Aldrich Spring zoning ordinances.
Well, see, the restrictive covenants basically says the size of the dwelling perhaps, or what can be used there, and so on like that. And that's been abrogated. I drafted that back about 1990. So that's not necessarily unusual if this is done. But see, this has nothing to do, has absolutely, and by the way, it says they will run with the land for 25 years and be extended for periods of 10 years unless the majority of the owners sign something that says you can't do that. So after 30 or 40 years, more than the majority of the owners signed that they wanted it ended, so it ended. This has nothing to do with your problem.
Okay,
You have
what
to
I wanted to
have,
know.
you would have to have the plat map. And see, we don't have the plat map. And the city manager has said, well, let me look at it and see.
I don't think that's a lot, that's a lot map.
The plat now,
This is the plat map of the subdivision, and there's nothing there that says anything about easements down the side of it.
I think it's supposed to be book C8, page 497.
What is that he's got?
He's done this, they sent this
Let
down,
me look at it and see.
I don't know. But I know that drainage, this broken pipe, is coming down completely every day, and that too is backing up and going into his land, almost to the deck. I don't know if that is, I don't know. But I'm
Well,
just.
this is simply a deed where William F. LeCon in October 1961 got lots number 1 and 2 of the Midway subdivision shown on plat maps. I'm scanning it right quick, it says nothing about an easement.
Yeah, I
I
just.
think Diane has a plat map at her house, do you not?
I gave it to them when they come down the last time, Corey, it was Corey.
It's me, that's me.
Corey took it to
Jason?
give it to someone.
This was dedicated probably in the late 50s,
Right.
and the plat maps were not as thorough and as detailed then as they are now. And the plat maps she showed, the plat maps that you see now will have notations in the margins that says that there will be, a 5-foot drainage easement perpendicular direction to each side of the boundary line, reserved for the property owners perhaps. It may be reserved for the municipality and so on. The map that I saw didn't have that. So if it doesn't have it, then the city has no easement.
I do have a map that she gave me that has a drainage easement on it.
And is it on the far side of the lot?
Yes.
Not in the middle of it?
Yes.
Okay. So in theory, could the water be redirected through that guy's backyard over to the easement and we just take it over or not?
I think what would happen is you need to, if you do it by the book, you have a lawyer, and see, this is gonna cost somebody some money, either her, the property owners, or the town, or everybody involved, to research it and get copies of all the deeds and copies of all the plat maps and what other documents might be appropriate to be reviewed. And so your title lawyer, your real estate lawyer gonna have to do that. Once that's done, then you locate the areas in question, the topography on the ground as best you can over the plat maps, and find out where the water is flowing, and if it's flowing over an area where the city has an easement. If it's not flowing over an area where the city has an easement, the city and the property owners will either agree where the property owners will give the city a written easement for drainage, and the city can go in and open that up, and so on like that, whatever it takes. If that does not happen, then unfortunately that becomes their property, their problem. And then they will have to get together and have their lawyer research it, and then have a contractor come out at their expense and figure out how to dig the ditch. And then all the property owners impacted would have to agree to prevent litigation or prevent hard feelings.
I'm not wanting to go through, I don't never do that. I never go to lawyers for anything. I thought maybe we could discuss it, maybe they can invest it, you know, see what's going on there, what the problem is.
Well, to find out, you're asking the city to send the city attorney up there at several $100s and see if that is not a city problem. The city has spent taxpayer money on private property. And see, that's something that we have to be very careful about.
Okay.
Because we cannot spend city money to improve someone's property, someone's private property. Just like the city employees can't come out and cut my grass on the city time.
Right.
City employees can't go on your property and dig a ditch.
Or do you?
And see if the water flows off your property onto a neighbor's property, and the neighbor doesn't like what's going on, the neighbor could file a lawsuit. So you got to go in a step by step. See, this, in a legal sense, is just like a medical procedure where you're diagnosed with a disease where you have to go to the hospital and have inpatient or outpatient surgery. And see here, what you have to do is you have to do the step-by-step investigation in order to get answers. Once you have answers, then you can get solutions. Answers to facts, answers to unknown facts.
Let me this tomorrow, this weekend, yeah, let me research
Can I have
and
that?
see what we can
Yeah,
do. I mean,
I'm sorry, I just didn't know what to do. I mean, I got a problem. He's got more of a problem than me.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
Have you
Who
not
is
seen
your
it?
neighbor? Who is your neighbor? What's the neighbor's name?
Michael Parks.
Mr. Parks.
Is he behind you right there now?
He's behind me.
Up on
He's the one that's got the real problem.
Because when it rains, it backs up
It,
to his, almost to his house.
it does. He's gonna lose his deck.
So it's an issue.
We'll keep those.
And he's very nice with me. He's wanting to be real nice, and all he said, just ask them if they can do anything to help us out.
From what I've heard, I could not in good faith instruct the mayor or the city manager to take action to solve your problem.
Okay.
Because we have not seen enough documentation that would point me in the direction that the city has a drainage easement that needs to be opened up.
Okay. I'll tell him.
But even if the neighbor agrees to it, it still doesn't make it any better.
If the neighbor, whomever the neighbor is, agrees, but there's no city easement, then it's a problem between the two owners, not involving the city. If the two owners decide to give the city a written easement and record it at the courthouse, then the city can step in and dig the ditch. But the question is, does the city wish to voluntarily assume this financial responsibility even though the homeowners are willing to give the city a written easement? Is it in the best interest of the city government and the subdivision as a whole and the community to invest in it.
He's got an easement. He does. He does.
Well, when you say he does, I
On
don't
the
dispute
map.
what you say. I want to see it in writing.
Yeah, we'll
He's got
we'll
that.
research the issue and see if we can find plat maps that show an actual drainage easement. So my crew, we do a lot of drainage easement work for the city of Oak Ridge when it comes to trees. And it's clear. I won't say Chris Hepler is one of the only people in this town that I have seen a plat map that it shows OS drainage easement. And the town of Oliver Springs is responsible for that easement, drainage wise. Outside, I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, it goes back to the plat map and what it says.
Okay.
And when we say, and I will investigate, we will
He's
investigate.
got one of those, he's got an easement.
So, and,
He
you
does
know,
have that.
and if it's the city's responsibility, we will take care of it. We just
So,
will,
I mean, it's an easement on him,
so.
but undoubtedly, it wasn't wrote on there unless it missed the arrow some way, but it sure does go all the way to
No.
Valley Drive and go down, because y'all clean it up every day, you
Yeah.
know, so.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms.
But
Diane.
thank you.
That's all. Where's your number again?
865.
So the mayor update, real quick, real quick. Pool forgiveness, this year, this board voted last year to do a pool forgiveness. So if you're filling up pools, you bring your documentation, bring in proof that you have a pool, and we will do a sewer adjustment. So that's number one, 'cause I had 2 people this week approach me about that. Second thing is, people can sign up for a secondary water meter that is for water only, with no sewer attached. And so like for water in your yard, you know, some people like to have really green grass, and they get a secondary meter, so that's also available. So if you're there, so there's that, and I'll shut up, Corey.
Water plant, all state reports were submitted on time, no violations in May. The spring got a water source, everything obviously is full up there, we're still running about 800 gallons a minute. Now, one thing, last night, found a substantial leak going up the on-ramp.
Substantial.
Got it valved off. They're shut down, they're back to like running one water plant or one raw water pump at the plant. One hot service pump is pumping about 800 gallons a minute, and we've gained all day. So your tank at Richard's Tank has got 39.8 foot in it right now, the 40-foot tank. It's the first time that tank's been full in years. So hopefully, as a result of that valve and that leak off, that's not been fixed. So we still got to address that. But you're probably bought your last drop of water from Anderson County Water Authority for a while. Just based off that leak. If we're gaining with one pump, we usually have to run 2 up there to even see some type of increase during the day. So a good thing there. TDEC executive order, all the mentioned RTU software has been installed, hardware has been installed. So you've satisfied everything required for that order. So all I've got to do is send the final letter. I've already sent them an email with everything that we've done to meet the order, the dates. That'll be taken care of. Your consumer confidence report for 2024 has been completed and posted.
How many meetings?
It's posted on all OS social media sites. Note posted on the next 3 water bills of the link to our website and the Facebook page that's posted on it. It's also posted at City Hall, the library, post office, and we'll have copies here at City Hall if anybody would like a hard copy.
I think there's a rec.
Big thing of that, if anybody's got any questions about the CCR, give me a call here at City Hall. I'll be happy to answer anything. Your distribution system, your water loss is about 53% right now.
Yeah, see, find out.
2 good things is our water sales was up to 7.8 million gallons this past month. And that's up from 7.1. So hopefully if we can keep, the sales up, and based off the leak we found last night, it wouldn't surprise me a bit if we're down in the 40s on your water loss next month. Your new Camstruck meters, so on May 21st, we had a Camstruck representative here that done in-house training for the inside and outside staff. Went over how to convert the water meters from AMR to AMI, meter profiles and how to read all the features on the actual displays. The office training went over all the data collections, how to convert it to usable data. Still working on setting up where the customers will have a portal, an actual CAMSTRUCT portal, where they can log in and see their histories or meter profiles, everything that we can pull up in the office. The customers have a portal where they can log in and see that same stuff. Now, the actual citizens portal is actually set up now. So this sheet here, I believe this was in your all's packets. So we've had these posted out at the office and posted these online on all social media accounts. You can either scan this or go to the Citizen Portal link and create your account. This way people will be able to look, see their current bills, past bills, and all payments that's been made. They can also set up for auto pay through that Citizens Portal. Big thing with this Citizens Portal, you only charge 2.5% of the total bill. So that's actually a little bit lower than what was being charged before.
Does that matter if it's a card or a check? Is it the same thing?
Credit card, debit card, either one. Either one. If anybody's got any questions or have any issues with the Citizens Portal, by all means, call the office. I know that Deborah's helped people set up the Citizen Portal accounts, by phone. They want to come in here, she can show them how to do it. But I mean, it takes literally 2 or 3 minutes to set up the account. Does anybody have any questions about the Citizen Portal so far? The one big thing that we lack is the new phone system. So our new phone system should be set up probably within the next month. This will be where we'll set up email, or send out bulk email messages. So in case where you had the main line break Monday and Tuesday, we're going to send out, hey, these areas are out of water. Send out multiple updates that we can expect it back on for flushing in certain areas, and even during the meter disconnects. You'll be able to send out messages just to the customers on the disconnect list. So that should be set up here, like I said, within the next month. Sewer plant, no violations in May. We've not had any overflows since early March. So that's just kind of a result of your sewer rehabilitation project, which a lot of that work's been in the Foxwood Circle area in Norwood. So that they've lined about 860 foot of main sewer lines, and they completed today 14 manhole rehabs. So they kind of went in and fixed, they don't have any leakage around any of the low liners or pipes inside those. They went in and fixed that. So this is big for like our I&I or infiltration. So that project's been completed. One big thing, Edward Ziegler, he's your operator at the wastewater plant. He passed his wastewater treatment 3 test today. So now you have another wastewater plant operator on staff. So I have to get with him and do a substantial wage increase for that. Collection system, sewer rehab project, again, we just mentioned that, 860 foot of main line, sewer pipeline, 14 manholes. Big thing with the T-Dot Bridge project. So, note posted online, we're having a scheduled water outage for tonight. So what they're doing is going in and tying all of the new pipes in, cutting and capping the old lines. So all the new lines have been pressure tested, disinfected. The bacteriological testing's been done on that. All they've got to do, cut cap ours and turn the new ones on. So this should take, it starts at 10 p.m. tonight, should run till about 2 or 3 a.m. Everything should be back to normal.
How many people's that will affect for?
So right now, on the posting, I put it's going to be somewhere between 70 and 75. We've had to back up on the valve. We're going to put Olive Springs Highway back toward Clinton. We're going to probably end up getting about 120, 122, 23 customers. So like I said, that we can probably get certain customers in sooner than the others, and we'll probably do that. I'll actually be out on site with Bailey tonight, kind of doing the turning the valves and bleeding everything. So as soon as we get one tied in and capped, I mean, we'll start working our way up this way, getting customers back in service. The only thing that we lack on that project at the bridge is the sewer bore. And they're actually working on that Wednesday and today. That should be completed tomorrow. I know Matt said that they were pretty much bored straight through rock, so it's been kind of slow going.
We're talking about furthering that high pressure,
Yeah, it's having to work
high pressure.
for the sewer line, yeah. And that's all I've got at this moment.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins. Mr. Miller?
I got nothing this time.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bass?
Nothing but a lot of work this time.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bailey?
Nothing this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Stanhope?
Nothing at this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Holland?
I was watching the water, Deborah in there the other day when we did the, meter pulling. I noticed we're losing a lot of time, man hours, by her having to, let's see, look up, this is what I just had to interpret. She had to look and see who was about to be late. Then she had to call the customer to tell them they're going to be late. Then she had to turn around and issue the request for the employee to go pull the meter. Then the second guy that we had citizen complained about 2 people in the truck. Now this guy's kind of hung up because one guy's the one pulled meter. Then she receives calls from the same people she called to tell them they're going to pull the meters, that their water's off, so she has to deal with that. Then the person comes in and pays, and then she has to get attitude about that. Then she has to contact the guy to go back out to the same places this come from to turn the meters back on. I think we need to look at increasing the second, third, and fourth late people to kind of tone this down some. Did you ever come up with like a number of how many meters was pulled monthly or?
Not an exact number, but we did look at that. Kind of what he's talking about is your meter disconnect list. Overwhelming majority of the same people are on that list every month. And it's not a 1 or 2 month thing. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, just basically every month. And kind of what Terry was talking about there is the amount of man hours spent on just one account, as far as taking the time to do the courtesy calls the week before, then the day of sending the workers out to disconnect the meter, and then the time spent by your office staff when somebody either calls to make a payment, inquires about the bill, and then comes in and pays the bill, and then the hours spent going back out and reconnecting the meter. So I mean, you're looking at probably close to 4.5 man hours per person for just one meter disconnect. Just through the whole process. I mean, there's a considerable dollar amount associated with that. So currently now there's a disconnect fee of $35 and then the reconnect fee of $35. So that's where the $70, I guess, total reconnect fee comes from. So that's definitely something to look at, especially for, I mean, people will forget. They'll forget to pay their bills. But for those that continually pay late, don't pay the bills, for 3, 4, 5 months at a time. I mean, it's definitely something that we could look at.
Because everybody's allowed once a year or something to forget it. I mean, it's 1 out of 12. People complain about how much the water bill is, if they can get on to these people that are costing the town more and the citizens more money.
Sure. And that's one of the things, I mean, if somebody don't pay their bills month after month after month, that puts the burden on the people that don't fix income and religiously pay their bills on time every month. So somebody has to bear the burden of that.
I just thought that one time.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Ms. Devaney?
Not at this time.
Ma'am? No old business, new business. Vehicle purchase. Corey?
So for the past couple of months, we've looked at vehicles for the water department. What I submitted in the package, and kind of the same thing we talked about at the last water board meeting. Instead of purchasing a 2025 or a 24, going with a 2023, which is some of the limited stock that's left on some of these dealers' lots. So one thing that we are waiting on is June GMC's rebates to come in. So currently a 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 5500 regular cab. This is a two-wheel drive. Now this is also with a Dakota service bed. It's currently at $67,000. Now this is just with $1,000, which is the May GM rebate of $1,000 takes it down to $67,000. So I was at the dealership yesterday afternoon and we looked at changing the service beds from a Dakota, which is I think it's a 4-foot, might be 4.5 service bed, which is your taller bed, and it kind of shows, I think, some of the pictures in the back, you kind of really see it. But exchanging that Dakota service bed with a Redding. The Redding are kind of the lower profile beds, and we was looking at putting a insert dump bed in the back of this 5500 truck. And at that time, that price, but by switching out beds, took it down to $59,800. And that's kind of what the notes are on your deal sheet there. Now the problem is the Redding service bed. We didn't find this out till, actually I guess I was up there Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening when I was up there. This is yesterday when we were going through the deals. So we went in and got the packets out as quick as we could yesterday. And I got the deal after this of the $67,000. He's not going to be able to exchange the Redding service bed with the Dakota. It was going to be too short for this wheelbase. So he is looking for another lower profile bed for this. So best case scenario, this would be $59,800 unless GM comes in with another rebate. Worst case scenario is going to be $67,000. Now, you've got 64, I think 64,000 or 65,000 in your current budget. Let me look real quick. You're 63. So you've got 63 budgeted for this. So if you decide to buy a vehicle, this would need to be a motion not to exceed 63,000. That'll give us some time to kind of wait on the GM rebate. So I know that was a lot right there. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I'll make a motion that we don't exceed $63,000 for the truck.
I'll second. Motion and a second.
Let's talk about your motion. As I understand it from what Corey said, there's an issue as to the bed and so on. Your motion can certainly be passed, but from my standpoint as parliamentarian, it is less desirable in that it's not specific, because are you delegating by implication Corey to deal with the bed or exactly what? In other words, buying this truck for $62,000, are you buying it as it is now, we're driving it off the lot tomorrow? Or are we gonna wait on the rebate, we're gonna wait on the bed liner, or whatever it is? And I don't know.
I make the motion that we buy the truck as it sits right now, pending whether we get they can find a new bed to fit it or not, or more rebates. Or more rebate.
Okay.
That was a 2023 Chevrolet 5500.
5500 HD
Let's see.
Silverado.
Motion by Mr. Miller has been amended. We have a second.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Matt.
Okay, run that by me again. The 2023 Chevrolet Silverado,
5500.
5500 as is.
I'm, as is, right now it has the Dakota bed or the Redding bed on it.
The Dakota.
Has the Dakota. but they're looking for a shorter bed to go on it.
Okay. So the current price on it right now, as it sits,
67.
is 67. Okay.
And that's with $1,000 rebate, correct?
Yeah.
But the
So the new,
factory rebate,
some of the new rebates are saying are like $6,000 and $7,000. So I mean, that's why I said not to exceed that amount.
What I've written is, motion by Miller, second by Bass to authorize the city manager to purchase 2023 Chevrolet Silverado pickup truck 5500 as is and not contingent upon a Dakota bed and or GM rebate. But if one or both can be obtained, then that is satisfactory, otherwise purchase the truck. Is that what y'all want to do, say?
Yes.
fair enough. All right, any more discussion?
Corey, who's the lucky winner crew to get it?
It's gonna be everybody's vehicle. There's not gonna be one.
Cause you got that potential dump bed.
How you gonna pay for it, out of the water department?
Yes.
We have $63,000 budgeted for it.
Yes.
My thought about, I mean, even, it's a brand new truck. Let's say Corey can't do better than 67. We're cutting our nose off over $4,000. It's a brand new truck.
Yeah, they've had it on the lot for 3 years, so they're gonna want to move it.
Yeah. They're gonna take.
Well, I don't want to pay more for it than we have to.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to pay more for it. But I'm just thinking, I'd say, let's see if we can get it for 63, but, over $4,000 for a brand new truck. I'd hate to lose it because the rebates didn't bring it down enough or because we couldn't change the bed or whatever.
If that's just 4,000, we gotta go back and find the budget
Yeah.
to put with it, so.
But I mean, I'm saying that I would be willing to go back and find the $4,000 because it is a brand new truck. Not that I want to, I want Corey to get the absolute best deal he can.
Well, let me offer this thought from parliamentary standpoint. You pass this, and you follow it up with a motion and a second that if you can't get it for 63, that court be authorized to go as high as 67.
We'll bring it back before council.
Yeah, that can be done too.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't make the motion, it can always be brought back for council at a higher price. Now, reminder, the next council meeting is July the 2nd during the holidays, or July 3rd maybe. Or
Yeah, it's
July
the
4th.
third, it's the Thursday before the 4th,
Thursday's the
on
4th.
Friday. Friday's the 4th.
Okay, will be July 3rd then. And we may want to roll the council meeting and water board till the second week, the second Thursday of July, or not have but one meeting in July and have the water board and the town council the third Thursday.
No, I don't want, we don't want to cancel.
Do what?
I don't want to cancel that. That'd be your first meeting, your fiscal year too.
We won't be in town.
I mean, we can move it to the 10th. We could do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just thought I'd rather.
But the mayor could do that, or town, or water board could do that at the last item of business tonight.
All right.
So can Dudley broadcast this still? Or you got to hold this still so the dealer don't hear this?
Well, you didn't give a name of the ring.
That's a good thought.
Motion second. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Robert Miller,
Yes,
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Terry Hall,
Yes.
Becky Lane,
Yes.
all were passed.
Thank you, Joe. On the Water and Sewer Department Budget Ordinance number 2025-06-05. Corey.
First thing we'll look at is your water department rate sheet.
Come with that computer screen, just absolutely blocks you, so I'm just wondering.
You good, though? You good, buddy?
Yes, thank you.
So your ordinance number 2025-06-05, this will be the water department rate sheet. Current CPI is 2.8% based off of your existing ordinances, which is on the actual back of your page. Annual rate changes, all water and wastewater rates and fees will change annually on July 1st in the amount of 2% to account for inflation or CPI, whichever one is greater. These rates and fees change will occur automatically. So going back to the front page, your current CPI is 2.8%, and per the budget workshop, we're asking for 1.1 more, taking it to a 3.9% water rate increase on the inside city only water and inside city only sewer. Based off of your rate study conducted by Jackson Thornton, where our water inside city and sewer inside city rates were needing to be raised at least 23%. This takes us a little bit closer to that level. Then your capital projects that you are doing, your ARC and CDBG projects, both of those your $500,000 projects for this current fiscal year are being done inside the city. So that's why we're looking at just raising your inside city only. The other thing is your comptroller kind of frowns upon your inside or your outside city rates being substantially higher than your inside without being able to justify it. So this takes us a little bit closer to getting those rates closer together. So your new inside city water rate, 0 to 1,000 gallons, you're still keeping your first 1,000 gallons. $16.39. Anything over 1,000 gallons is $11.03. Your water outside stays the same. 0 to 1,000 gallons is $24.69. Over 1,000 gallons is $15.30 per thousand. Anderson County water rate stays the same, $1.50 per thousand. Your sewer inside town, again with your 3.9% increase, takes it to $29.35. Over 1,000 gallons, $17.76. Sewer outside town, again, stays the same, and this is actually the third year that you're keeping your outside city water and sewer rates the same. But your outside sewer is $47.91. Anything over 1,000 is $28.28. Your Anderson County sewer rates, $28.82, and your sewer only customers, $67.40. Everything else on your rate sheet has stayed the same. You got your tampering fees, your tap fees, your 3/4 inch tap fees, $1,500. 1 inch is $1,750. Anything above 1 inch is $500 plus the cost of labor and materials. Customer is responsible for the boring costs if one is required. Your meter relocate fee, $750. And below is kind of your service charges, installation charges, reactivation charges, transfer fees. Back of your sheet, this is your sewer tap fees, everything's the same there. Big thing is water and sewer bills are due and payable by the 16th of each month. 20% penalty will be added to a customer's bill on the first work day after the 16th of each month. Customers who have not paid their water and sewer bills by the 26th of each month may have their water service terminated and their water meter locked for non-payment. $35 disconnection fee will be charged when town employees are dispatched to lock out a meter for non-payment. $35 reconnect fee plus bill payment in full will be charged prior to reconnecting a water meter which was locked for non-payment. Pretty standard, your return check fee of $30. Next, it talks about your water leak insurance. That number's on the back of the bills. And it talks about, again, your annual rate charge fee, which we discussed at the first. Your next sheet, let's look at your 5-year history. And all these documents are outside, kind of when you walk in for the customer to take. I've got plenty of copies there. Next will be your 5-year history. It just kind of shows of where you were and kind of where you're at now. So if you'll remember, the rate study that was conducted back in 21-22 said your inside city rates needed to be raised 23%. So over a 4-year period, you have raised those 23.2%. Now, again, that rate study was based off of data from 2021-22. Jackson Thornton is currently conducting a rate study for your FY 24-25 data. Next sheet here. Again, these are out on the table outside for the customers. This tells you what every customer bill would be for your inside city, outside city, and then combined, if they had water and sewer, for every usage bracket from 0 gallons to 1,000 gallons, 2,000. It goes all the way up to about 10,000 gallons, at which point I started skipping over 10,000 gallons. So if anybody's curious about what their water and sewer bill would be, these sheets are there. Going straight to your budget, it's your ledger sheets. The only change from the budget workshop is line 1 under revenues, your sales of equipment. We've got 4 vehicles that we're looking to get rid of, so I put just a conservative number in of 15,000.
What line are you on for?
That was line 1, sale of equipment. Total operating revenues, $2,993,150. $416,000 for a 2025 CDBG water line grant, $250,000 for an ARC water line replacement grant, and $125,000 for the infrastructure planning grant. It's total $791,000 in grant money, taking your total revenues to $3,784,150.
Now, is that 250, Corey, that matching 250 we gotta come up with?
So that's actually the 250 right now. If you look at the expenses of your capital projects on the very last page, you'll see the total 500,000. So the ARC, or the CDBG, you'll see it's 416,000 in grant money, meaning that's an 84,000 match that you have to meet there.
Plus the 250.
Yes.
Boy, that's more 300 and
Yes. So your total revenues again, $3,784,150. No changes on the expenses from the workshop. Everything should be straightforward. Actually, we did add money for the capital project to pick up that extra 15,000 in revenue. Everything else should be the same. If you'll go to the very back page.
Wait a minute, Corey, that ARC grant, that's 50/50, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
So if you look at the let's go to the total expenses. Again, total expenses, $2,993,150. Total revenues, $2,993,000 or $93,150. Total change in that position, again, 0. If you look at the very bottom, if you want to reconcile this budget to a cash basis, you bring in your $791,000, your depreciation of $535,000. One thing to start keeping an eye on here, if you look back at your 23-24 numbers, your depreciation is $465,000. The amount of grant projects you've done over the years, this is one thing that's going to hit a lot of people, is they're not figuring in depreciation on all these big water lines, improvements in sewer plants, water plants, and stuff like that. So you're capturing that right now. So I mean, we've increased our depreciation up to $535,000. The bottom, this is your capital projects proposed for FY 25-26. In your ARC line replacement, $500,000. Water line replacement for CDBG, $500,000. Water line replacement in-house. This will be service line replacements. And then a $55,000 for another vehicle. Bottom is your notes, state notes, loans, in 157,224 on your state note, and all this is for your sewer system. And then 97,000, net change in cash is $1,000, 79, or $1,079. Any questions about the water sewer budget?
We're back at the beginning, inside water rates, the new is 1639, what was it?
Should be on that other sheet, 5-year history sheet. So it goes from FY, go look at FY 23, 24 is 1525. Current is 1577. Proposed for 25, 26 goes to 1639.
In the, per thousand over from 1103,
Yeah.
1060.
From 1062 to 1103. Again, your outside city stays the same on the water. On the inside city sewer goes from 2825 to 2935. Anything over 1,000, that's, I see I made a little mistake right there. Goes from 1709 to 1776.
Any discussion? So do we need a motion to approve? Correct.
How do you feel about this, Corey? Do you think this is doable? I mean, you and I have talked about this privately.
Yeah.
At this point, you know, we've got to match these grants.
Yes.
I think it becomes very doable when our water loss gets down in the 40% range. And the massive leak we had out on 61, which Whaley actually did us a huge favor. And then the water leak we found, I say we, you found last night, could easily get us down to 40%. And the numbers really look good then. I mean, that budget becomes golden. It really would, so.
I told Corey in our private discussion, I mean, I'll just be public with it, my biggest concern about it was we cut back some of our overtime hours. And when we have a massive problem, it's a massive problem.
Yeah.
And it usually happens in the middle of the night or holiday, or that's when they happen. And so the overtime kicks in. And on this budget, we've cut back our overtime. That's my biggest concern. But if you're comfortable with it,
Yeah.
that's why I mean, and I know nobody's got a crystal ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, somebody make a motion?
We're making the motion to accept this budget.
Yes.
I make the motion that we accept this as our 2025-2026 enterprise fund budget for the coming fiscal year.
Thank you, Ms. Van Hook. So we have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Holland. Any further discussion? Roll call, Joe?
Robert Miller,
Yes, sir.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Carter Davis,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Mary Holland,
Yes.
Becky Lane.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
You want to set the next meeting?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, we need
Thank you, Joe. All right, so do we want to do July the 10th?
That's probably it.
Okay. You all good? Becky, Terry, Teresa, Charlotte, Jeff?
I'll
anybody
be
else?
here from the 7th to the 27th, so.
What?
No.
What are you doing, Kat?
Good Lord lets me live, I'm taking a trip.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe we need to back it up and have it
No, I can't get it.
a different day so Robert could be here.
What, do you want us to postpone for you to be here? You said for the 7th?
It's gonna be passed in July, so.
We're good on the water.
We just passed it.
Yeah, the water
Yeah,
was
but
bad.
general fund.
Well, we'll do that next meeting.
Yeah, we'll do that next.
Yeah, we'll do that in 2 weeks.
Oh, you Miss Allen's is on the truck,
Yeah,
That's the 19th.
or something that comes up between now and then, but if the price of the truck is not what you requested, then
You'll have the general fund budget ready by the next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're ready to go there.
all right. So July 10th. Everybody good with that, right? All right. Joe, you got that?
yes.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Let's call the Town of Oliver Springs City Council to order for June the 5th. Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller,
Here.
Jeff Bass. Here. Charlie Bailey.
Here.
Bruce Bennett.
Here.
Terry Holland.
Here.
Becky DeVane.
Here.
Yes.
All right, please send word of prayer, Mr. Joe.
Our Father, we come to you tonight, once again thanking you for all that you have given us. We praise your name. We pray that your will will be done here tonight. We pray that your will will be done throughout the world. We pray that we would recognize that we must seek you and join you in your work. We must worship you and fall down and obey you. We pray for these men and women as we deliberate that you would give us the wisdom of Solomon through the Holy Spirit to take the little that you've given us and make it into a lot. We pray for our nation as we go through the world, that we can be a great influence on the world. We pray for our servicemen and women at home and abroad and all that protect us and serve us in the various government agencies. We give you all the praise and the glory. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes from May 15th. Thank you, Bill. Motion by Mr. Bass. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Miller. Any discussion? No discussion, Bill? Must have been spot on.
I must have got it wrong. They didn't find that.
ETA.
Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller,
Yes.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Bruce Bennett,
Yes.
Terry Holland,
Pass.
Becky DeVane.
Pass.
Passes 4-2.
If anyone would like to come forward and speak, please state your name right now. Nobody tonight? Okay. Mayor update, two things real quick. We had the honor of honoring Mr. Charlie White yesterday, and his family was there. And so I just want to say to council, thank you so much for, a vision of mine, a dream of mine was to honor people who serve our community or who have served in years past. And so we did that several months ago with Carlos Phillips, and we did so yesterday with Mr. Charlie White, who gave 25 years of selfless dedication and service to the town of Oliver Springs and
The kids of Norwood.
the kids of Norwood. If for 25 years from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s,
Yeah.
if you went to school there, you knew who Charlie White was. And, and so we wanted to honor him, and we did, and it was a beautiful day amidst all the rain we've had. So thank you so much, council, for that. Thank you to the White family. I hope that that his service was invaluable to this town and will live on in the lives of people for a long time to come, because those memories are not forgotten. So I want to say thank you for that. Real quick, everybody saw Senator Marsha Blackburn visited Little Oliver Springs last week, and so what a tremendous honor that was to host a sitting U.S. Senator in our town. The first time that has happened since Senator
Baker.
Howard Baker, thank you. Drew a blank real quick, and so it was again quite the honor to host her here in our little small town. It was a again, amongst the rain, it was a beautiful time, and then it wasn't shortly thereafter, it started sprinkling and raining. So, the good Lord saw fit that we had beautiful weather to host her. And so thank you to David and Corey and Rusty and all the people that were involved. The depot looked beautiful. I mean, it's heard several remarks about, man, your old library, that's very unique. And so, to everyone who was there and involved, thank you so much. I'll hush. Corey, take it away.
Not a lot. Big thing going on right now is paving all around the town. JB Asphalt's been here the past couple of weeks, doing a lot of patchwork, be it water cuts or replacing like drain tiles, paving around those. I know they were scheduled to be in here this week and probably next week, weather permitting. If they don't get it next week, they'll probably finish up the week after. Arrowhead Park, there's really not been any change with the Army Corps of Engineers with the flooding issue down there. Chief will get into kind of the traffic studies that we've had just a little bit later and talk about the speed tables. Other than that, that's all I've got at the moment.
Mr. Miller?
While you're on the subject of paving, Corey, the corner of Sycamore and the airport,
It's on the list.
is it?
It is. When
How they gonna rectify that?
That's where the drain is.
Yeah.
Deep drain, yeah, I'm not sure about that, but that's on our list.
Okay,
me and Rusty discussed that one personally, so it is.
okay.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bass?
I have some concerns about that drain over there in front of the city garage and that curve.
Oh, yeah, that one, it fills up every time it rains.
I mean, it's like bad, and people saying that they're afraid that they're coming through there, miss the water,
Right.
they get into the other side of the traffic, which they shouldn't do, but they do.
Right.
So they don't run through the water, risking the car.
Yeah.
And was anything,
So there was a actual drain grate there, a drain, but I think the pipe's actually too deep. But that's one thing that we need to, yeah, we'll definitely.
It does get cleaned out
oh,
regularly,
I know that, but if we have to look at maybe going in and
make it bigger.
dig a bigger drain, just dig it out, put a different drain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While we've got the paving crew, but it's still easy to get it paved.
Right.
Yeah.
Dig it out, replace it to give some relief.
Yeah. One thing too is that rock bluff right there.
It is.
That
Yeah.
curve.
It's not that.
Yeah, and I don't think there's no one for the people to go,
Yeah.
so. And that's all I have at this time.
Thanks, sir. Ms. Bailey?
The only thing I have is we had our summer reading kickoff party at the library this past weekend, and it was really successful. The police department brought out their game trailer, which is always a big hit for the kids. They love that. I think she had a lot of people sign up for library cards, so that was really good. And I think get registered for her summer reading event, so it went really well. And we have our back to school bash that we had last year for the first time, scheduled for July 19th. And it was a pretty big event, so we're excited to have more details on that soon.
Thank you, ma'am. Looking forward to that. Ms. Van Hook?
They were paving out on Airport Road today. I just want to say they have done a really good job where they patched and paved. It was really good.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Holland?
Corey, sir, tax collection going on schedule?
See, one thing we have talked about a little bit is, kind of getting an actual list of kind of our past due, people who are past due on our taxes. And one thing we've already started looking at was kind of your commercial, kind of your businesses that are behind on their taxes. And you know, we've found that, I mean, there's a few commercial parcels that are numerous years behind. So that's something we need to discuss and kind of get a plan together, how we definitely want to go forward with those.
So we got like looking for next meeting or?
So let's, we'll get with Ramona and let's get a list first, just to say, you know,
I would like to go to see
residential
this,
versus
please.
commercial. And then we'll go from there.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's, to be honest, and I'm not trying to publicly shame anybody, but it's really sad. Because if you're watching and you owe the city money, do the right thing.
Big money.
We're not talking $10 or $20.
Is it property tax you're talking about?
Yes, yes.
Well, in due course of time, there'll be a lawsuit filed. But then, see, that's more cost, more expense, and
Mhm. And, you know, we try to be gracious, like, you know, we're not the Gestapo over here trying to browbeat people into paying, I mean, and forcing codes down people's throats, but I mean, you know, we're a small town, and the burden is on a small, select number of people to carry the weight. When somebody that owes $20,000 or $30,000 doesn't pay, then that's a hit for the rest of us to carry that burden. And that's tough in a small town. We're not Knoxville or Memphis or Nashville that have, you know, $200, $300, $500 million budget. So I digress. I apologize.
Well, that's actually one of the factors that goes in when you're looking at having to raise a property tax rate or not. It just is.
That's correct.
And just back to just like I said, in the water, the rest of the citizens are paying for the few.
Right. And there's only so much, we can only carry the burden for so long. And then the people who do carry the burden, it's like, we can't keep carrying it. You will get broke down. It's just what happens. Mr. Rowland, do you have anything else? Yes. Thank you. Ms. Devane?
No, this time.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief?
The first thing I've got on the agenda I want to discuss with you is Officer Ethan Story. He has met our 90-day probation, and I'd like to introduce him to you so y'all can get to know him.
Hello. Officer Story, I'd like to thank y'all for the opportunity. I'm going to do my best.
For sure.
How do you like the little town?
I love it. I've learned a whole lot, not everybody. And,
It don't take long.
yeah. Learned a whole lot. I've learned a whole lot, and I feel a whole lot of welcoming as well.
Good.
So,
Good.
Small town, good atmosphere.
yeah.
I'll make the motion. We are Mr. Ethan Story.
We got
I'll
a
second.
motion and a second. That was quick. All right. Any discussion? Roll call, Joe?
Robert Miller,
Yes.
Jeff Bass,
Yes.
Charlie Bailey,
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook,
Yes.
Larry Holland,
Yes.
Mickey Devane.
Yes.
Hey, Ethan.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. You want to know one of my favorite things about being a mayor?
What's that?
Roll call, Joe. Just saying. All right.
Second is y'all seen the letters from General Dave Clark that he done the press release.
Impressive. It is.
Any questions on any of the statistics or any of the studies I gave you? I know we'll discuss the speeding studies, but any of the code enforcement update.
I'm glad she's on top of it.
I know y'all gave us the speed study that we done for Sleepy Hollow, if you had a chance to look at it. Went ahead and just, you know, kind of the brainstorming I had, us doing so many here recently, I wanted to compare them all, and that's the biggest thing I want to talk to you about, is the comparative study. It's got all the speed studies we've done. The only one that would reflect differently would be your Norwood Drive. That is now corrected. This is speed table studies. We've not done one post. If that's something that you would like to see, what this has changed everything to, and that's kind of what I thought about once I started looking at these numbers. I'd like to see what it was and what it made it. So that will be one of the next things that we do. But this kind of shows you, you know, where our issues are, where Norwood Drive was, and we decided to act, do the traffic calming study, and put that forward. Well, if you take that study that drove for action needed on Norwood Drive, if you rank it right now, it would rank third in traffic, but it would not rank that high as far as in violations. Your top 3 violations right now would be Midway Drive, Arrowhead Park, and Airport Road. So I feel like if you were to sit here and say, we're getting ready to discuss the budget, we're going to look at what we can fund, what we can't fund, I would rank them, you know, basically Midway Drive being your worst for violations, Arrowhead Park being second, and Airport Road being your third. I know with the cost effectiveness coming in, at what Corey's going to discuss later, he's got a better option on speed tables. That's going to come in a little bit more cost effective. We have laid them out, basically 1 through 6 of what would be the highest recommended versus the least recommended.
One thing I noticed, Chief, was you didn't do the studies for the same number of days.
So typically, we try to do a 4-day study. Weather kind of drives things in, days off, other events that we knew that, like, most of them was always trying to do a 4-day study, okay? So that's what we typically try to go for. We only had one road, we only done a 3-day study for.
Yeah.
However, when we done Arrowhead Park, I was requested to do a full 7-day study because we wanted to know what that park is doing every day of the week. Is the weekends looking as bad as the weekdays? So that's the reason the studies kind of vary. Typically, we try to do a 4-day study.
Well, Airport Road was only 3 days, but I mean, it had some pretty bad numbers for 3 days.
Yeah,
For sure.
and it was one of those crunches, I believe, we were trying to get from there and to another one. We had to have charging time and things of that nature, so that was the reason. It got 3 days, we had to pull it, we had to charge it, and we had to get it deployed again.
Well, it still turned out number 3 in the ranking.
Well, and that's what I've done, is I've done averages. So basically what happened is I took the number of violations, which would be the one, anything above 25 mile an hour, you take that number, divide it by the 3 days, it tells you how many violations you're looking at per day. So if you take like Airport Road, I was looking at 510 violations per day. That kind of puts it up pretty high.
I got a question, Chief.
Yes.
On the Sleepy Hollow, on the speed data analysis sheet, you've got fastest speed 79 mile an hour. Is that a typo?
No, so what happens is if something comes along the box vibrating, like you would a school bus, semi-truck, working truck that has a going generator, your reefer trucks, that vibration will get picked up by radar. And that will end up being what they call a shadow. And so we try to account for that, especially when I do the breakdown and study. The speed analysis will grab that, but if you'll look,
47 was the highest.
yeah, so if you'll look at the actual graph, I break it down and I remove those.
Yeah.
But for that printout page, I'm not allowed to touch that. That is
really?
what the machine read, and that's what it's, authorized to do. I can't alter that page. But when it picks up shadows, what you'll notice when it picks up a shadow, which is what we would just call a vibration, it will literally, in 3 seconds time, it will pick up 9 at 79 mile an hour. There's no way.
Yeah.
Now, if it was only 1 at 79 mile an hour and there wasn't another reading for say 5 or 10 seconds, then yeah, it was possible. But literally in 3 seconds, it clocked 9 cars in a row at 79 mile an hour. There's no way. So that's a shadow reading.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Bailey's not here. No old business, new business, speed table quotes.
So in your packet, this one here. So your front page is currently what you have installed on the drive. Just for reference, if you look at the second page, these are the specifications that were sent out to each company to have a paved or / asphalted speed table installed. Speed table specifications are 14 foot long, 18 foot wide, and then 3 inches high. So on a 25 mile an hour street, your max height for the speed table is 3.5. So these were spec'd out at 3 inches. Third page would be your quote. This is what we have from Traffic Logic. Now this $5,228 was based off purchasing 2 speed tables. So that price for a kind of, I guess, the rubber speed table like we've got installed now would be probably around $5,700. Your actual quotes that were turned in from Volunteer Paving $5,300. JB Asphalt, $2,700 each. And Rogers Group did not turn in a bid, nor did PRI. So we actually reached out to 5, talked to 4, received 2 bids, the low bid being JB Asphalt at $2,700 per table.
Does that include striping, Corey?
It does not include striping, no. We've actually got another company that does our striping for us. Just kind of reference the crosswalk paving was only, do you remember how much that was? It's $2,800.
Or 3,200.
So
That was,
the striping's, it'll be like probably around $600 or $700 just to put the striping required on these.
Now, to answer, also to double down on that striping that was done, that is like a 5-year, 10-year warranty. That was the top of the line because we are getting reimbursed for that.
Yes.
state's going,
Yes, it was done last year or 2 years ago, and it lasted 1 to 2 years, and that was the low grade quality stuff. And then they came out, they're like, this right here will last 5 to 10 years. So, but it was only like $500 more.
I feel like it's striping they put on Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
So doing the asphalt's is gonna be the way to go.
It is.
Yeah.
Even if we have to add the stripe.
Yeah.
The extra cost. I believe that'd be the way to go, because you could actually just say, okay, you have a concern from your citizens, you know, they're on this road here and they're doing this, and you go, chief does a study of it real quick, well, that's here, you probably call them, we'd be out within the 3 to 5 day period.
Take it,
That's fine.
One thing we could do is we have an agreement with the high school that has a striping machine.
They do.
We could come and do our own, we just provide the paint.
Right.
So that's an option there.
5-gallon bucket that. Sir, when we can move her. On Depot, yeah. So I got a question. So we still have to get the petition?
Not on those. Not on those. Now, the one you do have a petition for would be Richards Drive. Now, your decision now is, or if any, is to where you want to put a speed table now.
How many do we can afford for now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a really good question. How many can we afford to put down right now?
So,
That would come out of State Street, wouldn't it? Out of the pavement? The fall?
I'll go back and double check that, because I'm almost positive traffic control, or traffic calming measures can be paid for under State Street.
Right.
So that would kind of fall under that.
We had let's say, on this, we want to put one on, say on, we're looking at putting one on Sleepy Hollow. So where we want to put this at, if they've done a road cut, you're already going to have to asphalt it anyway. At that road cut.
It has to be a certain, Chief can explain that.
Yeah, you got
Explained this before, it's gotta be, gotta be fairly
That would be
flat.
ideal if it could.
Is that right, Chief?
Yeah, if it was to be somewhere like in front of your house on Sleepy Hollow, it's flat, there's no inclines and there's no curves. That's what you gotta watch out for, is that you have enough seconds coming out of a curve, out of the apex to be able to see it, slow down for it, and so forth. It can't be on an incline, whereas if someone was trying to slam on the brakes going downhill, the momentum would shift the vehicle and it would cause it to hit it too hard. Things of that nature is what plays into it. So how, what kind of degree incline or decline do you have? Is it straight or after a curve? But, most areas we would find the ideal location. If it happens to be where there's a street cut, it could happen.
Chief, I know that you've been out and checked out the streets and you've gotten these numbers, as far as how fast the cars are going. Have you investigated where you would recommend actually the placement of these speed tables on these streets?
I look at options. I would present that to y'all to pick the location. I can tell you why I would pick here versus here, things of that nature. I don't want to be the one making the final determination because we're the enforcement arm. I want it to be, you know, y'all decide, we enforce kind of.
But you already have general ideas, don't you, that you would,
I can give you
general
safest
recommendations?
locations that could be approved, yes, ma'am.
Here's a question, and Charlie just brought this up, answered a very good point. In Arrowhead Park, we could do speed bumps, not speed tables, correct? I mean, which would be a substantially lower cost, you know, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's not a city street, that'd be a pavement parking lot,
Right.
just like you do at Walmart or anywhere else. The biggest problem is the speed. So if you have a parking lot that's 5 mile an hour, yes, you can do speed bumps. But when you get into your 20, 25 mile an hour, no speed bumps will work.
right, fair enough. All right.
So if you're looking under your State Street aid current budget, I mean, you've got 55,000 in there for capital outlay. 3,000 in for asphalt filler, and then another 2,000 in for road, street, and parking lots. So I mean, it just kind of be a council decision now as to one, how many you want to put in and where you want to do it. And my recommendation is let's try one, see what it looks like, see if everybody's happy with that, and then proceed on.
That's a good plan. Do we want to go ahead and do one in this budget, or do we want to wait till July?
I would go, no, this is for your current budget right now.
Okay. This is what we're gonna do. Yeah.
And
Well, listen, let's pick a street, let's make a motion.
so, Richard,
What road would you like, was it this first on the list?
The best location is where we done the first speed study for Midway Drive being the worst, and it will be in between Fowler Street and the turn in for Ridgeview Drive. Right there is acceptable, however, you gotta look there with several manhole covers, and you got a couple businesses and residents. If we was to pick a location like that, we would need to go out and do the neighborhood study with the ones that'd be affected in 100 foot in both directions. I can talk to all those neighbors and go ahead and make sure they're all on board for it. And that would be my recommendation. If Corey has a cut through that location, you know, we can look at that as well. But my first recommendation will be between Fowler Street and Ridgeview Drive.
We just need a motion.
now, one other thing you want to take into account is the paperwork would have been filled in to put one on Richards Drive.
That's what I was gonna say. Those people asked for it, didn't they? Did they not file a petition on Richards Drive?
They did.
Well, we have a quote for 2. So we could go ahead and do Richards Drive,
Yes.
because those people actually have a petition in front of us.
I mean, you could
Do Richards
Just
Drive
to see, I mean,
and do the one over on Midway
Yeah,
that the chief is recommending as being
the
a,
asphalt.
Fair enough.
Just one place went on Richards, chief,
Do what, sir?
just one place went on Richards.
yes.
Yes, because there are so many hills and curves. The only spot will be probably in between, there's really only about 3 driveways up from Park. And so we looked at going below Park. I think there's a cut right there below it. And one of the residents we spoke with, me and Corey spoke to him, he liked the cut because he said it was a natural speed bump and slowing people down already.
That's the fact.
And he liked it on the other side of the park, right there close to his driveway.
That's a fact.
So we just need to make the motion to put the one in on Richard
More on Midway.
and one on Richards. I'll make the motion that we put the asphalt speed deterrents on Richard and Midway. Per the recommendation of police department.
Correct. So we got a motion from Mr. Bass, and Miss Bailey, I think for the first time, has made her, she seconded the motion.
Seconded by the
She made her debut today, folks, so there you go.
Now, did we award the contract to
JB Asphalt. Well, I guess that would be, yeah,
Your low bid
yeah.
would be
They
JP.
pay us for 2024, 2025 State Street aid funds.
Yes. So, all right. Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Does that State Street aid money carry over to next year? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Roll call it, Joe.
Robert Miller.
Yes.
Jeff Bass.
Yes.
Charlie Bailey.
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook.
Yes.
Terry Holland.
Yes.
Becky Boone.
Yes.
All right. Drug fund next. Corey?
Station Gate.
State Street, I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize.
Can I just add one thing before we leave this off? If Chief could present us with other options for these other streets, suggested locations, if you'll just review those possibilities and let us have them ready for us at the next meeting.
Thank you, Chief. All right, item B, State Street Aid Ordinance 2025-06-05A.
All right, this is your State Street Aid Fund, fiscal year 2025-26 budget. Your revenue beginning balance of $271,000. Anticipated state funds is $119,000. Total available funds, $390,100. Your expenditures, $57,000 for your streetlights. Everything else is just kind of standard items looking at last year versus this year. Your one big thing under capital outlay is we are going to pay roads with State Street Aid this coming year. You currently have the $55,000 in your current budget. It being June, if we don't use that, then, I mean, that's kind of where that $390,100 comes from. That reason it's so high is that $55,000 just carries over. So your capital outlay for 2025-26 is $137,000. Total proposed appropriations, $230,000. Total available funds ending would be $160,100. Any questions about the State Street Aid?
Motion to accept.
I make the motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Van Hook, second by Mr. Bass. Any further discussion? Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller.
Yes.
Jeff Bass.
Yes.
Charlie Bailey.
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook.
Yes.
Terry Holland.
Yes.
Becky Boone.
Yes.
Thank you, Joe. Item C, drug fund budget ordinance number 2025-06-05B.
Fiscal year budget for your Drug Investigation Control Fund for fiscal year 2025 and 2026. Projected total revenue, $6,772. Now, if you kind of look back at your previous year, that had equipment where we were selling drug fund equipment. Now, there's not a lot of that in that for this year, so that's why the number is only $6,772. Your expenses, again, are very straightforward. Total appropriation, $6,772. That's it.
I'll make a motion, we accept the budget.
Motion to accept by Mr. Bass. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Van Hook. Any discussion? Roll call, Joe.
Robert Miller.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Bass.
Yes.
Charlie Bailey.
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook.
Yes.
Terry Holland.
Yes.
Becky Boone.
Yes.
Pass.
Thank you, sir. Item D, last item. Sanitation Fund Ordinance number 2025-06-05C. Corey.
Again, this is your sanitation budget for FY 25-26. Your revenues, collection charges of $195,648. Expenditures, $195,648. Keep in mind your current rate, residential rate is $10 and I believe 93 cents per month. So that's where your revenues are coming in for this.
Make the motion that we accept this budget.
Motion to accept by Ms. Van Hook. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Van. Any further discussion?
Question.
Yes.
Have they told you what they're gonna raise it to in October when they do their hikes?
No, we have not, but
It'll be very minimal, and here's why. I did speak to Josh
yes.
Metcalf
Mhm.
just recently, and he wanted me to just kind of run this by you all, that this is not set in stone. But for next year, no. Yeah, next year, they would like to entertain the idea of providing the town with a trash can, each resident, so they can go to an automated system where the driver, they only have one driver and the arm that picks it up, which would help keep the cost the same. So that's something to think about and to gauge your all's interest in that. Now, with that being said, the first 3 to 6 months, he was very honest and blunt. He's like, you will get a lot of complaints because you all have done the way you've done trash pickup for decades. All our lives. And with change comes
Uncertainty.
uncertainty and controversy. It just is. And so, well, we've done this for 30 years, is what you're right. And we're trying to keep your costs low. So, that being said, it's your all's decision. That's not mine. That's it, right? So, so hopefully though, we did talk about the rate increase and they're thinking minimal come October. I mean, just like maybe CPI increase. So 25 cents, 30 cents. That's what they're hoping. Don't quote me on that.
So we just have to have a budget amendment
Correct.
for whatever.
Yeah. So,
We can't know that now.
They do it that way every year.
all right. Motion to adjourn? Right? Oh, Lord, I'm getting a cart for, roll call, Joe, sorry.
Robert Miller,
Yes, sir.
Jeff Bass.
Yes.
Charlie Bailey.
Yes.
Teresa Van Hook.
Yes.
Barry Hall.
Yes.
Vicky Raymond. No meeting July 3rd.
Council meeting July 10th.
July 10th.
We're gonna have,
Would you like
we're gonna
to?
have the regular meeting on July the 10th.
That'll be in the minutes.
Yes, yep, July 10th. So no July 3rd meeting, July 10th will be water and, council together. All right, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So move, all in favor, say aye. Aye.